Let's go back to Barberton now and hear from Colin Malach.
Organizing Comrade Mdu, and also the chairperson of the Youth League is also here. So we are going to start with the president of the ANC Youth League, and then we are going to follow with Comrade Mdu. As I've said earlier on, the chair and the secretary, they've been here. So we'll start with the president and then the Comrade Mdu.
Look, we're here as the African National Congress Youth League to send our condolences to the family of the deputy president of both the ANC and the country, a former educator, a man that believes so much in education and the youth of this country. We're here to say that as the Youth League, we're saying that the spear has fallen, but generations are taking it forward, moving forward. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, Colin, maybe briefly, you once also mentioned earlier that as the Youth League, you would want to see young generation taking position of leadership. Are you still your stance?
It's compulsory. It's no longer a matter of negotiation. Anyone above the age of 65 can't lead the ANC anymore. We're going to influence the NGC of the ANC. We have an NGC of the Youth League now in September. It must be a constitutional requirement in the ANC that when you turn 65, because we're a law-abiding country, we drafted this constitution of the country, we've made the laws in parliament and everywhere else, we must be exemplary as the movement. We can't say that 65-year-old are pensioners in the country, but when we, the leader of the people, the leader of society, the parliament of the people, we do the opposite. Now we're saying that change is coming. We're no longer going to have pensioners in the African National Congress moving forward.
Samalachi Mulukomloto here, you are live on ENCA. Give us your views about the remarks that were made by the Provincial Police Commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, more so because he's alleging that there are some senior leaders, both within the SACP, SAPS and other layers of society, who are enabling a situation where you see drugs affecting the constituency that you lead.
Days of statements and populism have ended. If he has got evidence on them, he must arrest them. We're not a country of lawlessness. We don't want statements. We don't want press briefings. We want people to be arrested. If you are doing crime, you're putting drugs in our country, you're working with criminals, arrest them. We don't want commissioners that are becoming politicians. We want commissioners that act. His role as a commissioner of police is to arrest those who do crime. Now, we don't want him to be a pop star. If he wants to contest politics, he must come to branches of the ANC and contest. But if he wants to be a commissioner, he must arrest those who do crime. We don't want statements, we want arrests.
And what do you make of the fact that he, to some extent, is implicating the Minister of Police?
If the Minister of Police is doing crime, he must be arrested. We're not a lawless country. I'm repeating again, we don't want a commissioner who's a pop star. We want a commissioner that acts against crime. He has been doing very well, applauded by people where he was arresting criminals. He must continue doing that work. We don't want him to do press briefings, we want him to act. We want to be told that if the person is doing crime, is arrested and the law is enforced. That's what we want to hear.
All right, maybe let's get you here from Mr. Mdu Manana. You are head of organizing. From that point of view, where leaders of the ANC, specifically the minister himself, who ought to be enforcing policing from executive's point of view, the name is implicated in this. Your response?
Well, it remains an allegation, and as the president of the Youth League has said, his job is to arrest. If anybody is involved in any form of criminality, that person must be subjected to the criminal justice system of the country. So we've noted these allegations, and obviously those who are in authorities will have to take the matter forward. But otherwise, it was a press briefing, and nobody's above the law. If any one of us is involved in one criminality or one form of criminality or the other, that person must then be subjected to the criminal justice system.
You are a member of the ANC's NEC and the National Working Committee. Do you think this is a matter that those two bodies ought to be seized with?
Well, at this point, it does not warrant a discussion in the NEC or NWC. It is an allegation. Comrade Senzo has not been charged. He has implicated him well, I've not really listened to the press briefing, But I was just reading from social media that he is implicating him in some form of criminality or network that is engaged in criminal activities. But that's an allegation, but it does not warrant the NEC or the NWC to discuss the matter until he is formally charged for wrongdoing.
Mr. Mananda Zianda from Newsroom Africa here. In essence, what General Mkhwanazi did here was to hand over the ball in the court of the president. Do you think it's necessary to also, as the ANC, call for some kind of action or swift action from the president, given you're so close to a local government election? You yourselves have been described as, enemy number one when it comes to corruption and the image that the ANC currently holds. Surely then there is a responsibility on you to apply some kind of pressure on the president.
Of course, General Mkhwanazi is not a layman or an ordinary person in society. He is a provincial commissioner, and so he has made this allegation, and I'm certain that there will be a process to investigate the matter, and the president will then take whatever action. Now that he has come forth and he has made this allegation, we will then leave it to the authorities to conduct an investigation and to establish whether or not Minister Mkhunu would have committed a crime. For now, let's leave it to the authorities to do the work. As the ANC will certainly support whatever process that is established by government to investigate the severity of this matter.
Samkele Masego from the SABC, Mr. Manana, Mr. Malaji, and to the provincial leadership. Most of you have worked with David Mabuza for the longest of time, particularly you, Mduduzi Manana, and Premier Mandla and Chairperson and Muzi Chiro. Looking at where the ANC is at currently within this particular province and all the allegations that have been leveled, particularly within the organization of disunity, what would be the correct way to honor David Mabuza, knowing the history where this province comes from, the provincial conferences that you've had, and the allegations that have faced this particular province of Mpumalanga, of bogus branches and everything, knowing that you are also the head of organizing, where the organization is currently at? How do you honor your former deputy president? Thank you.
Let's start with the provincial chairperson.
No, they're asking comrade, but we don't have bogus branches in the province.
Well, look, firstly, maybe to dismiss the allegation that we have bogus branches in Mpumalanga. We have branches of the ANC in Mpumalanga. And the best honor we can give Comrade Didi is to unite. He believed in unity. He lived for unity. You will recall in 2017 that he crisscrossed the country preaching unity and in a way trying to avert a situation where we would have a very ugly contest. We are a party that has suffered a major blow in the 2024 general elections, and all that we can do in his honor is to then close ranks and unite members of the ANC, build strong branches of the ANC, branches that will connect with the communities we lead. So I think this is the best honor. This is what he taught us. He taught all of us that if we are really to contribute much more positively to the lives of the people, then we must build a strong ANC. We are stronger in our messaging, in service delivery as the ANC if we are united. So we want to thank him for instilling these good values, and we assure him as he will be laid to rest that we will sure unite and make him proud.
You want me to respond on this question that is raised about the unity of the organization? We all know that unity is the foundation in which the organization, the ANC, was built. So it is true that as a province we'll strive to unite all structures will strive to unite all the members of the ANC here in the province. We know Comrade Mabuza must unity in his honor. If we will tell people in public that Comrade Mabuza rest in peace, if we don't unite, one day he's going to wake up and ask us as an organization that how am I going to rest in peace if you are divided amongst yourselves? So we are going to unite structures of the ANC here in the province. Thanks.
Mr. Malachi, as you respond to this question, perhaps also let me add, the late former deputy president being a complex figure, you might have heard possibly one Mr. like Chiwayo.
The provincial leadership of the ANC in Mpumalanga, led by Mandla Ndlovu, the provincial chairperson, who's also the premier, flanked by the ANC Youth League president there, as well as Mduduzi Manana, who are there to pay homage to the late former deputy president, David Mabuza. We will continue to give you that coverage, our team on the ground, and covering the preparations for the funeral that will be taking place on Saturday.